landmines. Landmine? Landmine?
Holy shit, they planted landmine!
Oh, they found the landmines.
Oh my god, they planted landmines? We walked
Lancaster.
out there.
Okay, we have to stay calm. Nobody move an inch. We've head for Zorin. We'll pull back.
Alright, man, you know the drill. If it moves, it dies. If it dies, you move on. Keep those grenades coming, keep the bullets raining, and most importantly, have fun.
Hello viewers and welcome to the final episode of Trashtalk on Lancer. In today's episode, Iskander. Iskander is the eastern variant of the name Alexander after Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great. Widely considered as the history's most successful military commanders while being completely undefeated in battle, Alexander the Great was able to forge the largest land empire of the ancient world that stretched from Greece to India, but unfortunately, the empire immediately fractured upon his death at the age of 32. However, even past his death, his actions have influence over the fractured remains of his empire, spreading Greek culture far and wide, and even to this day, some could still feel said influence. Named after the man himself, Iskander is made to achieve the same level of influence as its namesake has, by making sure anyone that tried to step on it get blown to kingdom come. Looking at its stat, Iskander has an average health, 1 armor, average evasion, and good defense. It's rather slow while being slightly beefy, but it has a decent heat cap. It also has an excellent sensor range with tech attack bonus to boot. Onto its traits, it has 3 of them. First, assault launcher. For once per round, Iskander can yeet a grenade or a mine at a visible place within range 15. Second, mine deployers. When Iskander used a quick action to launch a mine, even with assault launcher, it can deploy another 2 mines around it as a free action. Third, skeleton key. Iskander cannot activate any mines or any other systems that activate by proximity, whether from allies or enemies, unless it chooses to. In case you still don't get Iskander's gimmick, things will explode, a lot. As for its weapon mount, it has 2, 1 flex and 1 heavy along with 6 base system points to play with. As for its core power, Iskander can activate Death Cloud with Broadsweeper Cedar. Basically, with a quick action, Iskander can do this to nearly the entire map. For the rest of the turn, you force your enemies to play a deadly game of the floor is mines, and anytime a hostile character move in any way that isn't regular move, including boost, knocked back and literally everything else, they take 3 AP explosive damage automatically after said move for once per round. Oh, and just to make sure you really understand what literally every move besides regular move means, flight doesn't help, the air itself is made out of mines. This core bonus is extremely powerful in controlling the battlefield, ensuring that your enemies won't be able to move around much unless they want to die faster. As for the rest of its license, you get stub cannon and grounding charges in the first section. Stub cannon is another big iron with a massive kick, limited 6, great damage, short range and 1 knockback. Good, but make your shots count. Grounding charges is an expendable device that pulls people in. First form, gravity grenade, forces one character to pass an agility save or become slowed permanently until it spends 1 turn without making any voluntary movement. Grounding mine doesn't get triggered by proximity like other mine but instead get triggered with a quick action after activation. Upon being triggered, target a character in range 6, that character must pass a successful hull save or get pulled towards the mine and get knocked prone. A flying character can also be pulled in the same way, forced to land without taking damage and get knocked prone too. In the second section, you get repulsor field and gravity gun aside from Iskander frame itself. Repulsor field repulses everything around you. Upon activation with a quick action, you unleash a pulse of force field within burst 2, every single character, both allies and enemies, must pass a hull save or get knocked back from you by 2 spaces. All mines caught in the field also immediately detonate, affecting everyone around you except you, as you will be protected by a flash shielding that makes you immune to the damage of or saves forced by these mines. Though other more persistent effects such as creating a zone will still affect you normally. Gravity gun is a gun that shoots gravity. Medium range, massive blast zone, and everyone caught in this zone must pass a hull save or take 1d6 energy damage immediately and get pulled towards the center as close as possible. Always good to follow up with an area of effects system, like a bunch of grenades. In the final section, you get clamp mines and tesseract. Clamp mines, destroy those that refuses to move on. With a quick action, you throw a bunch of mines at a target within your sensor range, which will clamp on unless they pass an engineering save. At the end of that character turn, if they have not moved at least 4 spaces voluntarily, the mine explodes and deal 1d6 plus 3 AP explosive damage to the target and half to all nearby characters, ending the effect. If they have moved at least 4 spaces, the mine will disarm and detach itself. Tesseract is a quick tech system upgrade that give you 2 quick tech options. First, spread focus, allows you to make a large zero-gravity zone up to 6 spaces high within your sensor range. All characters up inside the area can fly in the area and cannot fall too, but they will be slowed. If they can already fly normally, they can fly in the zone too but cannot fall and do not gain heat from flying. Objects placed within or entered the zone can float in place, and any objects or characters that get fully out of the zone after being knocked, moved, or pulled out will sink harmlessly to the ground. Only one of the zone can be made at once as the old one will simply disappear, otherwise it lasts until the end of the scene and everything sink harmlessly to the ground. Second, pinpoint focus, choose a hostile or willing allied character within your sensor range. If it's an ally, that character can float up to 6 spaces straight in the air, counting as flying. They will be immobilized this way but cannot fall. They can also choose to end the effect at the end of any of their turn or the start of any of your turn. If it's enemy, they must pass an engineering save or get the same effect. It automatically ends for them at the end of their next turn. A specific hostile character can only be floated this way once per scene. As a conclusion, Iskander can easily ensure that every inch of the ground will be mined or exploded in one way or another. This frame is frankly one of the more big-brained mech as you need to think to actually plan out your next move, but do this right, and you will be rewarded with a spectacular explosion. Hey, so, it has been quite a journey for the past 7 months since May to upload an episode of Trashtalk on Lancer for nearly every single week. That certainly took quite a while. Anyway, with the series done, and the end of the year about to come, I thank you all for reaching this far into my series and I hope you will enjoy all my future contents that will soon to come. Anyway, let's actually end this video right now.